Is it over here? Where did I see those people? I don't remember anymore. Here, this is where I saw them all. Beggar, 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 beggar. Spare a coin, stranger. Be careful with them. These beggars are different from the ones on Galarian. They were rejected even by the Society of the Abyss. Just imagine what type of person you must be if even demons don't want to deal with you. They're not as helpless as they seem, and their leader is untouchable. They say even the Lady in Shadow sometimes seeks his counsel, and some say that it is Elutionra herself who has assumed the form of an ordinary demon in order to communicate with those who inhabit her. Look closely at the crowd of beggars. Perception 37. Does anyone know Zephyrian? Some of the beggars seem to prick up their ears at your words. Noticing that you are looking directly at them, they reluctantly stand. You definitely managed to draw the vagrants' attention, but they do not appear to be in a hurry to share useful information with you. Perception again. Study the reactions. One of the beggars draws your attention. Despite the pitiful rags covering his scabbed body, he holds himself a little more erect than the others, and a dirty but obviously expensive ring sparkles on his hand. Unlike the others, he looks at you without interest or greed, but with arrogant indifference. The leader of the beggars realizes you figured him out, but he continues to examine you with an indifferent look. His tightly pressed lips indicate he will not simply give you the information you seek. My highest roll is intimidation. Let's try this. This has a 75% chance, chat. Shake the beggar's hand and steal his ring. I could tell you're in charge here, and if you want your ring back, tell me where I can find Zephyrian. I failed a 75% chance. When you unclench your fist to reveal the ring, you instead see a molar, yellowed with traces of plaque in the palm of your hand. The light-fingered vagrant who outsmarted you allows himself a contemptuous smirk. You shouldn't steal from beggars, else you might steal our troubles and poverty for yourself. Alright, well, intimidate. This is a 90% chance. Address the beggar leader. Tell me where Zephyrian is immediately, or I'll start cutting you to pieces. Failed again. I failed a 75%, then a 90? We are filth on the streets of Elutionra. No one dares touch us, for we are poison and parasites. Lay a finger on us, and within hours, days, or weeks, you will become one of us. Well, this just feels silly now. I'm forced to do a diplomacy check, which only has a 40% chance of success. Would you be so kind as to tell me where I can find Zephyrian, esteemed leader of these poor lost souls? The beggar holds your gaze for a long moment, then scoffs and turns away. You are completely useless. The beggar mutters in frustration, then return to their usual business of begging and cursing. Several gobs of spit land at your feet, but they are launched with such dexterity that you cannot detect who is responsible for the insult. A beggar who, despite his foul rags, behaves like the monarch of these squalid slums, speaks sternly to you. If you want to buy information, go to the Bad Luck. Beggars do not trade in gossip. They don't sell anything at all. They merely beg for alms and give others a chance to lift them out of poverty. Go away and do not bother us again. As for information, I wonder if it was like you were going to fail that no matter what. I don't know. So we failed a 40%, a 75%, and a 90%. I really hate how after the intimidation thing, it forced me to try to be diplomatic. Oh, please, sir, let me take a bow.
Follow my lead.
Beggars. I'm looking for Zephyrian. Do you know where he is? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's not my place to gossip with customers. I'm an innkeeper, not a spy. Buy yourself something to drink and stop wasting my time. I got a special liquor you should try. A true rarity. 100,000 gold. Pay 100,000 gold and drink the liquor under his demanding gaze. The liquor is revolting, savoring of rotten meat and mold, but the aftertaste is surprisingly tart and pleasant. The demon gives a short, creaky laugh as if a swarm of crickets had awakened in his lungs. Zephyrian, hardly anyone remembers that name. He was an ambitious son of a bee, sharp and tenacious, but he was hasty in his attempts to overthrow Nocticula, and Our Lady in Shadow remembers all too well how she was underestimated by the demon lord Variavaxis. So she dealt with Zephyrian before he could stab her in the back. She ruined him completely. Well, when that lump of bleeding flesh opened its eyes and moaned, we were shocked it still lived and breathed. On that day, Zephyrian's name was relegated to Elutionra's past and forgotten, but I've seen him once or twice among the beggars. He sits at the threshold of the Battle Bliss arena, begging for gold, and no one recognizes him. Nocticula didn't just break his body, but his spirit. So far as I know, he has never tried to take his vengeance on her, and he has plenty of reasons to want revenge. Oh yes. Piss off. Great. Alright, Battle Bliss. That was an so failing those 3 rolls leads you to having to pay 100,000 gold. Beggar. The vagrant is repulsive, even by standards of the Abyss. His lumpy, scarred face makes you think he was put through a meat grinder, then shaped back into a semblance of his former body and left to live out his life. His tall and once impressive figure has been shattered. His arms are covered in protruding lumps of unset bones that were left to heal improperly. Jesus. The beggar is clad in many layers of dirty, smelly rags onto which hundreds of keys are sewn, from tiny toy box keys to a giant cast iron key that bows the demon's neck almost to the ground. So you're looking for Zephyrian. He's long dead, but that doesn't seem to be stopping you. Well, what do you want with a dead man? Zephyrian, the master of lies and trickery. I remember fighting him. Share your knowledge with me. I know a lot about Elutionra, and about its current ruler, too. Trust me, staying in power in its city wasn't easy. What would you like to know? What did you do to fall so low? I was overly hasty. I had power back then, and it grew with every passing day. Lamashtu's belch, I was just a step away from becoming more powerful than Nocticula and toppling her from her throne, and why not? After all, that's exactly how she got to where she is after she took down that toothy old freak Variavaxis. I was about to start my coup, and had even found a powerful patron, so Kothbenoth, Nocticula's brother, who held a serious grudge against her. But before I had time to act, that sly mortal mage stole an important thing from me, a thing that could have shifted the balance of power, and then that red-headed little bee learned about my plans. She turned me into Nocticula, and she struck me before I could. I fell, and the red-headed harlot took my place. Ah, Shamira, I should have strangled you the moment you appeared in the Abyss. Did I kill Shamira? No, haven't killed that one yet. I've got like a grocery list. Oh no, she's alive. How do you think of Elutionra today? It's the same pile of crap it was when I was in charge. Here in the Abyss, everything changes constantly, but nothing really changes at all. I could tell you how much better the city was when I ran things, but it would be a lie. Back in my day, it was no different. Just as I did, Shamira rules the crazy lot with an iron fist, subduing them through terror and violence. It doesn't take a genius to do that. You just need to be absolutely ruthless and have enough power to be able to drown any insolent scum in his own blood. Actually, it can be done by any brainless Descarite who can crush mountains but can't count how many corpses are impaled on his spiky claw. Okay. What do you know about Nahandrian crystals? There's a tale told in Elutionra, a tale about crystals that grant immense power, but what exactly are they, and from where do they draw their power? No one seems to know. I've seen something like it only once before. I found the first crystal on the Isle of Vazglor, and it seemed useless to me. It contained a great deal of power, but it was of no use whatsoever. I meant to give it to my patron, as he would have found a way to use it, but I never had the chance. Some feeble mortal mage managed to steal the crystal from me. He locked himself in a tower, examined the crystal, studied it, and managed to find some use for it, but he was under Nocticula's protection, so I never tried to hunt him down. The demon grins unpleasantly. I bet you're thinking, I'm just going to tell you the name you seek, and then you can rush off to have a chat with that mage. Not a chance. The mage wasn't a demon. He was a mortal who served Nocticula's arcane needs back in the day, kicked the bucket long ago. All that's left of him is the tower in the upper city. It's locked and protected by magic. Many have tried to get inside in the hopes of stealing something of value, but their remains rotted long ago. No use talking about them now. Ah, but you're curious now. You'd like to have a poke around in that tower, wouldn't you? Perhaps you could find something of use in there, yes? He gives you a mocking grin, then sighs and takes a single key from his rags, handing it to you with a sweeping gesture. Take it while I'm still feeling generous. This will open the way to the tower. When I ruled Elutionra, I made sure I had a key for every hideout and tucked away nook in the city. You never know when things might come in handy. Here, take this and get lost. No one will throw me a coin with you hanging about. Perception. Take a closer look at this surprisingly selfless demon. Something spiteful and vicious lurks in the depths of this beggar's eyes. He looks like a predator waiting in ambush, or a scavenger waiting impatiently for his prey's agony to finally end so he can enjoy his meal. Whatever his motives, this demon obviously does not wish you well and is already counting down the minutes to your imminent demise. I remember. I've heard of this place. It's a tower, supposedly filled with treasures left there after the death of an ancient mage, but no one could prove there is any truth to these rumors, because not one of the daring adventurers who managed to get in ever returned. The place is a death trap. Zephyrian is probably just toying with us. He's pretending to be helpful only to send us to certain death. You're giving me the key, just like that. With a philosophic shrug, the demon answers, yeah, why not? I don't need it. And I don't need anything from you except for you to leave me alone. Now go on, get lost. Thank you. With a satisfied belch, she answers, this miserable beggar has nothing to hide. I'm leaving. With a malicious grin, the incubus croaks hoarsely as you leave. Enjoy your walk around Alushanra. Alright, so he said it was in... where? The upper area? Yeah, okay, it's showing me the quest marker there. Hey, chat, you'll notice I didn't kill him. I'm a good boy. I don't just kill all willy-nilly, chat. It's professionals have standards. Alright, where is the tower? Is it this place? On the massive island, or is it something else? The left island? Like, down here? North, if you prefer. The top island. How is that left? Okay.
As it should be.
I'm just imagining all the people on this thing just screaming like, oh god! Oh, someone's looking at us from the left again! Ah! Mage Tower, Mage Tower. That's not it. No icon there. Alright, let's try portal. Wait a minute. What is that thing?
I'll go ahead.
Another portal down. What? Okay. Think mage before tower. Oh yeah, something magical. I'm looking for things I can interact with. Like a lava that's an illusion with a portal behind it, or a teleporter, or a, I don't know, whatever it is, I'm sure I'll be able to interact with it, so I'm looking for that.
Follow my lead.
What is this? Into the Mage's Tower. There we go. Okay. Oh, Yes, take all the knot swords. Find useful information inside the Mage's Tower. Okay. We are going to save it here and pause here for the night chat. Progress made.